I'm back with another book review, and I have a special guest this time. Buddy! My dog wants to join me in my book review. Say hi! Okay. Anyways, the book I'm going to be talking about is Verity by Colleen Hoover. It's a book, sir. It's Verity by Colleen Hoover, and basically, can you sit down? I'm trying to talk. Okay, you go over there. Anyways, so basically what the book is about is about a struggling author named Lowen who just lost her mother in an apartment, and she's trying to look for a job because she can't pay for her apartment anymore. And so she runs into this guy named Jeremy in the beginning of the book, because in the beginning of the book there was a murder that happened right in front of her, which was crazy because I wasn't even gonna start the book because it kind of freaked me out a little bit. But yeah, so basically Jeremy ended up being the one interviewing her, and he asked her if she could basically take over his wife's book series because she got into a car accident, she's paralyzed, she can't finish her book. So she ended up taking it because obviously she needed the money, and there was no other way for her to kind of pay for her apartment or anything. So they ended up asking her if she could stay at their place for a little bit because they want her to look through his wife's office, kind of get to know how her writing is, so then she could actually get into writing the next few books of her series. So she ends up going there. Already off the bat, it was kind of weird because she read some info in the family, Verity's family and Jeremy's family, and basically they had just lost their two daughters before she got into a car accident. So in my head, it's kind of girl, I would never, because it's really creepy, to be honest. I don't know, in my head too, I was like, she had just met Jeremy. You don't know if Jeremy did something to the wife or the kids or whatever. But yeah, so she ends up going, and instead of working on the book for the past few weeks, she finds this manuscript, which is an audio biography that Verity wrote about herself, and about how she kind of her life and everything that led up to her writing. And so as Lowen reads a couple of chapters, and in my head, after she reads some of the things that she says, Verity's not a good person. I would have told Jeremy right away and be like, hey, this is what I found in your wife's office. What is this? Because it was crazy. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil it, but you guys need to read it. Out of all the books I have mentioned so far, this one, guys, it was good. But yeah, so she ends up kind of getting deeper, reading each of these chapters, and as she does that, she starts falling in love with Jeremy, which Jeremy is, taking care of his wife, and he has one son that he has left named Crew. So what ends up happening is that they end up falling for each other. They have an intimate moment for a little bit, and then something happens. Let's just say that we didn't expect, Lowen didn't expect, because Verity's supposed to be unconscious. She's supposed to be in a coma, or she's supposed to be paralyzed. She can't move. Something happens, guys, multiple times. I know, it was crazy. But yeah, so after that, we kind of find out a little bit of demons that Lowen has, which is she tends to sleepwalk, and she kind of opens up about her trauma, her past. Jeremy does the same. That's how they end up kind of falling in love with each other. But basically, it ends up to a point where when Jeremy leaves, Lowen takes a knife, goes up to Verity's room, starts going a little crazy because of something she reads in the book, her manuscript, that she hasn't told Jeremy about. So I'm okay. Then Jeremy stops her. He starts getting mad at her. He's like, what are you doing? I want you to leave. Yeah, it gets crazy. She ends up eventually now telling Jeremy, hey, I found her autobiography manuscript. You need to read this. Please. He ends up reading it. It gets crazy. I can't even explain, guys. It gets crazy. I don't want to spoil the ending because, yeah. But let's just say after all that craziness happened, Lowen and Jeremy end up together. They end up kind of already trying to start their own family, like move out, leave together. She ends up finishing one of Verity's books because she has Verity's book because she has to read 3. She finished the first one. And so then what ends up happening is, like, you know, her and Jeremy end up together. They find a new house, but they come back to the old one where Verity is because they forgot some stuff that they needed to get. So they come back, and Lowen finds a letter hidden in Verity's room that's supposed to be given to Jeremy, but she doesn't give it to her. I mean, doesn't give it to him. So, you know, then the letter is crazy because the letter basically ends up telling you that everything you just read could be a lie, could not be a lie. And it's like, I don't know what to believe. But like, everyone picks sides because I've seen so many videos on TikTok. Everyone picks sides. Like, I am team manuscript just because, like, I don't know. Okay, it's either your team manuscript or your team letter. I'm team manuscript because, like, I do believe that this girl Verity has issues. So, I don't know. But anyways, that's how it ended. She ends up, but instead of giving it to Jeremy, she ends up flushing the letter down the toilet so Jeremy won't read it. So that's what ends up happening. And then she ends up having happily ever after with Jeremy. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. But I do recommend because, like, I don't know. It wasn't horror, but it was really creepy. Like, I kind of like these type of books. Like, it had some romance in it, but it mostly was just creepy. Like a bunch of mystery type. And that's what I really like. So Colleen Hoover, this one, out of all her books, I would say is really good. I like this one the best. You guys should read it. But yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. It's literally crazy. Like, I wish I could tell you guys the spoiler parts because it's so good. But I can't because I want you guys to read it. It's good. But I'm trying to think what else, if I missed anything. No, not really. But I mean, the son, like Jeremy's son, Crew, I don't know. He gives me like weird vibes. Like, he gives me like serial killer, like his kid. It's like kid's like 5 years old, and he gives me like this serial killer type vibe because the way that the kid acts. But you know, in my head, I excused it as like, oh, he lost his sisters. Like, you know, it makes sense that like he'll start acting up. But like, I don't know. There's just something about Crew that like gets in my head, and I'm like, I don't think he's normal, but I don't know. But yeah, that was Verity by Colleen Hoover. I recommend. 10 out of 10, guys. You want to come say bye? Good. Nah, he's busy, guys. All right, bye.